Hello and welcome to Whatever I Want, a podcast where I do whatever I want. Today I have with me Doitsu. Did I say that right? I can say it wrong if that makes it better. Doitsu?
It's Doitsu, yes.
Doitsu, gotcha. I'm just gonna put a bunch of hyphens in your name.
Thanks.
It makes it easier to pronounce for small-brained people like me. So,
Very, very understandable.
so Doitsu, a YouTube commentator, starting just about, no, you started, this channel's actually been around since 2015, but your videos actually only started out about 3 months ago.
Yeah, I only started using this channel in, January.
And you've gotten a pretty good start. You've gotten 4,000 followers in the span of 3 months, which is crazy to me. And you also have a Twitter account with about 300 followers, which, let me just say, you actually don't have a lot of spelling mistakes. I was going to make fun of you if you had any spelling mistakes like other people, but I can't make that joke. How dare you?
Here, would you like me to add one in right now?
Yeah, sure. Add one in right now. What are you gonna do? Bring it on. That is actually.
I have done it.
You have done it? Alright. Somehow I need to refresh my page to actually see it. Why can I not see it?
It's in my bio.
Oh, it's in your bio? Oh, how dare you, God, Gren. So, Doitsu, you do commentary channels, you do commentary videos, not commentary channels,
Yes.
about all varieties of things. You talk about real shipping in real life, everyone's favorites, Sonic 93, Supreme Menace, Toxic Friends. You're kind of doing a little bit of everything. You did a Q&A as well, exposing private information to the public, although, I mean, the only thing I really got from that video was you didn't want spaghetti. It's really all I got.
Pretty much.
It's the bare minimum. So you've been doing good for yourself. You've gotten quite a bit of a following, and people like your content as well. You haven't screwed up. You're not getting into any of these big dramas. So congratulations, you are a good content creator.
I try. Thank you.
I'll make sure to order you a custom-made 2-inch trophy later.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That'll be delicious.
It'll be the finest plastic China has ever made. That's all I can afford. I don't have a budget for this podcast, so that's all you're getting.
Steal it.
I can't do that. If I steal it, then I become a criminal, and then I can't do podcasts. No, I can't become a criminal.
Do it on the road.
Do it on the road. I get out like an RV or something, and I do this while evading police.
We just hear the faint sound of sirens in the background.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's the end of my show. I could see that the fuzz have finally caught onto my trail.
Oh God! Oh shit!
It seems faking my death in the last podcast didn't actually cut it.
Let's do it again. Bang.
Sound career advice. Well, at least I have now a good idea for the future. I commit tax fraud and then evade the IRS. It'll be my new podcast.
Sounds good.
So, on top of doing a bunch of commentary stuff, I mean, we could talk about drama and things and how people can't understand basic morals all day long, but there's also another thing about you. So you play a lot of D&D.
Yes, definitely.
Now, just because I have my own embarrassing story about it, and by embarrassing, I mean I got tricked into doing way too much Simple Edition. How did you get into D&D?
Okay, so I think 2 years ago, my boyfriend at the time got me into Dungeons and Dragons after a lot of convincing, because at the time I was like, oh, haha, dumb nerd game. And then he got me and another friend of mine into a little one-shot, and I loved it, and we just went along from there. He started a campaign, and I enjoyed it to the point of wanting to make D&D videos, which was, I guess, pretty good. I am still very into D&D. I am committed.
You're just stuck with it. It's never gonna get out of it now. You're just stuck. It's like signing a blood pact. I mean, it's over. You're done for.
It is a very nice blood pact to be a part of.
It's better than others. I mean, at least you get cool books.
Yeah.
So now, what edition did you get into it? Did you get into it around 5e started coming out? Did you get in a previous edition?
I've always played 5e.
See, with me, I got in when I was a little bit younger. I used to play in like a hobby shop back in my old hometown. I played 4th edition though. This is the embarrassing part. I was so like entranced with the idea of D&D that 4E, it's a really bad edition. It's just basically doing math for 8 hours instead of actually doing any role playing. You're just adding.
That's terrifying.
It's not even like oh yeah, I do like 400 points of damage later on. You're just adding up 1s, 2s, 4s. That's it. You're doing that for like 4 hours. You hit something,
Well, no.
and then you do it again when your turn comes back around.
That's just math class, but with dragons, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
for like
sounds terrible.
For 2 years, I was tricked into doing my least favorite subject, math, and and then it took me getting into 5e for me to realize I that's all I spent doing. I'm like, I didn't make any. I had no character development. All I did was math.
5e is so much better because you can actually like focus on developing your character and roleplay, which is, in my opinion, one of the best parts of D&D.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was getting into, and then I didn't, and then 5e came around, and then I'm like, oh, so this is how you play the game. Absolutely.
It's a good way.
Alright, so now, you did used to have some D&D videos out there. They're sadly put away, but in them, you only had you just kind of talked about one character. It was with one of your campaigns involving a magical tower. Sadly, it's been a while since I actually saw it, so I sadly forgot the exact name of it, the campaign that you were talking about. But in it, I only saw one character being talked about. Did you have like a favorite type of character you like to play, class, race?
Oh, in that video I was talking about my first character. Her name is Aloe. She's a tabaxi wizard. Yeah, the whole tower fiasco happened. Class-wise, I like playing wizards. Wizards or barbarians. I like
That's a
how
big difference.
wizards... Yeah, I like how barbarians can beat up everything while being super dumb at the same time. I find that fun to roleplay. And like, wizards are really versatile with their spells, so like if I want to feel useful, I just usually go for wizard.
See, with me, I've just gotten stuck in a constant loop of playing rogue, and I don't think it's healthy. I just can't. Like with 4E, you were stuck with basically only being the sketchy thief guy the entire time, and then 5E came around. And then you get introduced to all these different little abilities. And then you also get introduced to how sneak attack doesn't actually have to involve you being sneaky. You just have to get advantage. So then I quickly learned, oh, I could just make a rogue that never sneaks. So,
Oh god.
yeah, that turned into me making characters that were solely based off of grappling people and just stabbing them repeatedly. It was the most terrible idea I think I've ever come up with.
Sounds fun. Rogues are nice.
Rogues are very nice, which is why I advocate that they are the best class. And on top of that, now my new challenge, on top of actually finding like D&D on Discord, I'm about to give up on that because it's just a mess trying to find like good public servers on Discord. I'm trying to make a rogue that just doesn't use magic at all, which is basically two things you can't have with characters because everything needs magic to get good.
Oh, why don't they like magic?
I think the backstory that I made up just to make this character this way is yada yada yada, organization, secret stuff. We don't like magic. That's the entire plot. It saves me right in time. I have yet to actually flesh it out, but it just involves me trying to write as little as possible. That's another thing on making rogues. The whole thing about why I love rogues is because you can make people really angry not making a stereotypical rogue.
Like edgy backstory rogue?
Well, okay, maybe a little bit of an edgy backstory. I mean, let's not go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you need lawful rogues.
Oh?
Lawful rogues. It's the best thing. You basically make rogues that are more like a town guard than an actual thief, and it just drives people insane.
Instead of stopping the thief, you rob the thief. A taste of your own medicine.
See, I just like, I think one of my notes that I had, which all my characters are based off of just like one. I don't know how you make your characters, and that's gonna be a question in a second. But all my characters are based off of like 3 like very bare bones ideas. You smash them together, and then you get a character. So this character so far, the 3 defining traits is Skyrim guard, police brutality,
Skyrim.
and then very tired cop. Those are the 3 aspects that I'm trying to fit into like a D&D character, and somehow make it
How?
work. I don't need to explain how. I'm just doing it.
You know what? You're doing great.
So, how do you come up with your characters? Because I just explained my whole... I just gave away my secrets, so you need to give away your secrets now.
Let me think. I guess it depends on the campaign. I usually just start by drawing a character, and then based on the design I gave them, I just make the backstory. I usually make really long backstories, but I try not to make them like 14 pages.
Really long backstories, not 14 pages. That's a good thing. You don't have to give your DM a book every time you make a character.
I still have yet to give one of my DMs a book.
You haven't gotten to that point where it's like, alright, I get that you have your own lore, but you need to start reading up on my character, because you need to get some of these plot points in, or else we're just not gonna have a good time. You just like hand them like a pamphlet.
Yes, study this, dear DM.
I want to be the main character, so read my backstory and shut up. This is how you play D&D.
You overwhelm your DM.
Yeah, you just make your DM get to the point of crying, and then you know you've become a good player.
That's how you win D&D. You make your DM suffer as much as possible.
Exactly. I had a lot of good memories playing D&D, although I did learn that some friends that I do have are totally inept, and I am as well, at playing online D&D. We're so used to like physical D&D that as soon as you put us into a Discord chat, it's just not gonna go well. Like,
What happens?
I think it turns into arguing, talking about homebrew, and then we all just play Mordhau and just have more fun doing that.
Oh my god.
Like you have like 14 different like conflicting players, and I think everyone just kind of gives up, and then that's how we start just playing Mordhau.
Well, at least you guys all have fun in the end.
We have fun in the end. Sometimes though, you do want to just play D&D. I have yet to find a good public D&D server that I don't just walk into and I'm walking into like a 14-year-old fan fiction.
Oh dear.
I don't know how you like, because it sounds like you just have like your own like little private groups that you just play around with, or do you try to join public servers?
I would not be able to play D&D with random people.
I don't
I'd
know you.
die.
I can't trust you with my backstory.
Can't trust you with my character. Who do you think you are, huh?
I think the weirdest things about them is that on top of you having to play your own character, there's no like they're like all text based, which is weird, and it kind of just turns into everyone sits in the tavern, and then when somebody is mean to the chaotic good wizard hiding in the corner, you just murder him. That's all I've seen so far.
That's terrible.
It's like everyone goes off and is edgy. It's like I don't like these characters, and then one person makes fun of like a tiny like lizard wizard in like the corner, and then they all descend on this person. Meanwhile, I have to just text out. I just had to text out. My character takes a drink every like 15 minutes, so people actually know I'm still in there.
I usually play D&D online in VC. That's always been how it is for me. I can't play D&D in real life.
See, I think the only thing that, compared to online D&D and in-person D&D, the thing online D&D is missing is that there's a pile of snacks usually. In-person D&D, you're missing out, I mean.
D&D snacks?
Yeah, it's just a pile of snacks somebody brings. You grab the snacks, it's free food. I don't think you could get that with VCs.
That does sound nice. Just chuck snacks over to each other across the continent.
Yeah, well, just FedEx people like bags of Cheetos and hope for the best.
14 sessions later.
Yeah.
Got my Cheetos.
Well, I got my Cheetos. Sorry that they're just powder at this point. It's so much fun. D&D is so much fun. I mean,
it is. It's
in the end of the day, you're just trying to utilize your elementary school creative writing class skills, but it's still fun.
it's nice.
Although it is kind of worrying sometimes when you tell people about like your experiences in D&D and you're like, yeah, it's just a relaxing game. I mean, like the other night, me and my friends just murdered a guy and we just had a good laugh about it. You start to become a little self-aware.
In-game murder is perfectly fine.
It's not like it's illegal or anything. It's totally fun.
Yes, there's no in-game law. Poor DM.
Yeah, you really only have to just be
Have
worried.
you ever
Have I ever DM'd?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I have tried a one-shot once, and I had mixed results.
What happened?
So I was told that I made set it up really well. These guys were like going off to go find like these bandits that well, not these bandits. It was a bunch of like monsters that were going out and pillaging people. This guy would go and ask people to go retrieve his stuff from these ruins, and I like set up. People told me like, yeah, you set it up really well, and that's really nice. And it ended up with like instead of monsters taking stuff, it was just a bunch of bandits hiding out in the ruins, and then having someone go send people out to them, aka the quest giver. But then I totally underestimated how easy it is to murder people. I like sent like a few like bandits, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. They were killed by one guy almost immediately. And I had to figure, because that was all I had for that one shot, was like this small group of bandits I thought would have like given them a fair like fight.
Oh no.
So then I gave them a bunch of bandit captains, and then it turned into 7 hours of them slowly grinding away at each of them until they died. The battle was probably like if it was seen in real time would have been like 5 minutes, but it took us 7 hours to do the math to then finally whittle these guys down and kill them.
How the tables have turned.
I'm like, all right, so they killed those guys too easily. Let me just send the guys that have more health. That should be easy. And then I forgot that they had like multi-attack and they had higher AC, and yeah, I haven't DM'd since. What about you? What have you done any DMs? DM shenanigans?
Yes, I have. I am DMing 3 campaigns at the moment.
At once?
Yes.
Please tell me that you like sometimes mix them up and you like kind of forget the details. What were we doing in this campaign again? Did you guys keep your notes?
Yeah, I have separate notes for each of them, but sometimes I just accidentally open the wrong notes and start reading something from notes that I'm not supposed to be reading. It hurts.
It hurts your soul, and you're just like, oh right, that's not for you guys. I think the worst times, like on top of accidentally giving out information, either for the campaign that you're in or the campaign for other people that they may also be in, I think the worst time is when people figure out what you want to actually do right off the bat.
Yeah.
See,
from that point, I just secretly,
No, sorry, go ahead.
From that point, I just secretly change up all the notes and hope it goes well.
Oh, so we're going against a necromancer, maybe? That's my guess. And then you're just like scribbling it away. And it's like, not anymore.
Oh no necromancer.
No necromancer. You're fighting against 14 dragons. Good luck with that.
Better than a necromancer.
Better than a necromancer. It's like my go-to trope. I like necromancers. Only because that it's just an old guy. In the you're just fighting an old guy in the end.
An old guy that really likes bringing dead back.
That's actually the one. Like, I think necromancy is one of my other favorite magic. Only because it's actually really horrible. But if you don't tell anyone it's necromancy, you don't have any clue what you're doing. I think I had a character I was actually going to play at once. That was just a kobold that became a necromancer in order to resurrect tall people to then sit on the shoulders of.
Aw, that's so cute.
But it was like a neutral evil kobold, but nobody cared because all he did was like just resurrect tall people, just taller and taller people.
That's a good necromancer.
It's a good
just an army of tall people.
the party that I was with was gonna totally let that, like, necromancer slide, though. So I'm like, perfect, I could get away with cute things. So, okay, so did you have, like, a very memorable character? I know you talked about Aloe. You mentioned being a barbarian. What kind of memorable characters do you have?
The barbarian, her name is Athen. She is in a dead campaign, unfortunately.
We'll never see the light of day again.
She left the party to raise a child.
Oh wait, I forgot I had a kid.
Yes, she had a kid with one of the party members because they had a time skip and they got married.
It's great.
I have another character. He's an Avon. His name is Shiloh.
Shiloh.
He's in a Magic the Gathering campaign, but he's my favorite character that I've ever made, but he's kind of dead, but not really at the same time.
See, you don't call them dead. You don't call them dead characters. When they get stuck in a campaign, you just recycle them for another campaign.
He left to another universe.
No. This isn't the same character from that campaign. This person has a silent E at the end of their name, and also has shorter hair. Totally different character.
Totally.
You can't waste all that creative, right? You can't waste all of that data taken up in, like, your Google Docs or something. That's actually another thing on online D&D. I can't use all my dice that I have. I've solely only collected, like, green dice, and I can't use them on online D&D.
My green dice.
I mean, hello. Yeah, I mean, have you seen me? The green's in my name. The green's gonna be on the title card, not the title card, the podcast card for this episode. Literally everything I do, like the sound dampening professional blanket that I'm using right now is solely green. I'm wearing a green shirt right now.
You are very green.
Very green. I have a problem.
It's okay.
There's actually a funny experiment. If you go around with like one set of clothing, like I have like green shirts and a green hat. If you go around with that set of clothing and then suddenly change it up, people will not recognize you.
Really?
It is the funniest thing I think I've ever done, because I've made people have to stop me in the street, take a look at me, and then they're uncomfortable that they didn't recognize me in the first place.
The magic of green.
The magic of active camouflage. We're red and suddenly I'm just unnoticeable. I've become a different person.
Green.
No more good green guy.
No more good green guy.
It's blue boy from now on.
Good blue guy.
I don't think I want to be called blue boy. That'd be a terrible name.
Bad blue boy.
Nah, absolutely terrible. There's gonna be someone that's named Bad Blue Boy one day. It's gonna take offense to that. I mean it wholeheartedly. Your name sucks.
Yeah, Bad Blue Boy.
Bottom of my heart, terrible name. So do you have any other D&D stories? So you're running 3 campaigns. Now,
yes.
Am I crazy in thinking that you should totally, like, just skip the first 3 levels and just give people, like, maybe 1 free level starting off a character on a new campaign? Or do you start them off at level 1 with, like, basically nothing?
I usually start them off at level 2.
Level 2, alright.
Just so they don't one hit.
The wizard dies, because they're basically made out of wet toilet paper. That's like 3 health points.
I have a thing with my characters dying. I love all of them. Even the characters that my players own in my campaigns. I don't want to see them die, but like I see it coming.
This is called divine intervention.
Divine.
I'm fudging my rolls not because I like you, it's because I like your character instead.
Fuck.
It's absolutely horrible. See, I just hate, like, I think the general rule of thumb I've seen is that people usually make you skip to level 3 or 2, only because at level 1, the people with, like, the negative constitution, I think I got unlucky one time and I had a negative constitution and I started off with 2 HP. I wasn't going to re-roll because I had really good other stat rolls, because point buy isn't fun at all. So I had to deal with, I think, a 6 constitution.
What class?
Rogue, what do you think? It was Rogue, 6 Constitution, that, and also instead of doing like the fixed HP, we did random rolls for it as well. So I think I got 1. Sorry, not 1. Dang it. So it's a D8 for Rogue, a 6. I think was a 6 a -2 or a -3? I forgot.
I forgot.
We're doing math here. This isn't my strong suit, so I need you to figure this out.
I'm dumb.
We're both hopeless.
Let's pray. God help us.
Alright, yeah. I'm just gonna assume. Yeah, so math. 2 HP. It was not fun. I think I actually I think I did a successful save on some kind of spell. I got like 1 damage and was instantly downed and unconscious. And it was funny.
How did you not die in the first?
Well, I didn't get like 4 damage would immediately kill my player, but 1 damage brought it down, and then there was another like 1 damage hit, which then made me unconscious.
Got lucky then.
I got very lucky. And then we never played that campaign again because then the DM realized how much he did not like DMing. So sadly, my rogue toilet paper Michael didn't make it past like day 1. So
the 2 HP legend.
The 2 HP legend has like 16 dex and strength, had it 6 constitution.
Makes sense.
I wanted to...
toilet paper.
You just like punch me lightly on the arm and all of a sudden I'm down for the count. I go into an immediate coma. So much fun. So, on top of D&D, you also play some video games on top of what I've seen recently, Don't Starve Together.
Yes.
I love the game, but I never make it past like the first season because I have no idea what I'm doing. How is it that you and a bunch of other people are able to like survive for years on end? Is it like witchcraft?
Tutorials and just experience. Don't Starve is a game throw yourself into and learn everything over time. It's a nice game.
It is a very nice game. It's very peaceful until suddenly I think the way I usually die is like I travel too far away and then I just die in the darkness all the time. I don't know why.
Yeah, just the shadow monster person. She murders you if you don't have light.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the score right now between me and Shadow Person has to be like 41-0. Because I mean, what can I do? Make a fire? No, I keep forgetting that I don't have enough materials to make any fire. See, I'm like the person that runs around with a backpack, chester, and then like my whole hotbar full of stuff. You're asking me to sacrifice a precious slot in all of that for 1 torch?
It's a small price to pay to not get murdered and eaten.
But then where am I going to put all of my dry sticks?
In your mouth.
Fair point. I think that's also another that's also another thing. I think I focus way too much on building the biggest wall I can around my stuff because I'm paranoid about hounds. Like, I don't know half of the noises that happen in that game, and I always assume it's hounds.
Just have armor. If you want to beat up hounds, have log armor and a spear. I think they come on day 8, day 10.
Around day 8, day 10.
Yeah, it's scheduled.
There we go. Here, hold on. I need to get my my notes because I didn't think I was going to be getting tips and tricks today. I'm figuring out how to not be a casual. Just because I didn't fill in my cliche questions, I need to also ask. You talked about D&D and how you liked doing D&D videos. Are you ever thinking about doing those again?
Maybe if I have a good enough story. That's making a video about, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Something's wrong with my connection, I think. I may as well connect to Hong Kong at this point.
Let's go to China.
Let's just move to China and my connection's gonna be immediately cut out. Not only is my internet connection gonna cut out, your internet connection's gonna cut out, and then the entire call is just gonna start on fire. So you're thinking about maybe doing some D&D stuff if you have more good stories. I mean, you had a pretty good story the first time I saw it come around. It involved people going into a simulation, one guy shooting himself in the face and living, and then convincing 2 people that they in fact aren't actual people but are instead a part of a fantasy world that makes them not human and they are in fact a tabaxi I forgot what the other character was that was also human.
He was a warforged.
Warforged, right, robot. Get this, you're not actually made of meat. You're made of metal.
I'm just remembering everything that happened during that session. I think it was at 12 a.m. It was just complete chaos. We did not know what to do. Is my connection
It's getting a little bit spotty. I just didn't know if it was because, like, you had your voice sensitivity down or up.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't screw up too bad.
See, now, okay, that sounds way better. Congrats. See, there we go. There's that minor thing I was talking about. I mean, in the first podcast episode, my mic fell apart. In the second one, my internet cut out. But now in the third one, your audio just went spotty. So there we go. I love Discord.
We love you, Discord.
We love you, Discord. You may have questionable people on it, but where else are we gonna go?
Skype, back to Skype.
Not Skype. I'd much rather just buy a TeamSpeak server. I hate Skype. I don't know how many other people actually have like been on TeamSpeak servers. I'm pretty sure people only use those for Arma and shady business transactions.
It looks kind of similar to Discord. I just searched it up.
Yeah, it's like Discord in every way, except it's not like trendy looking like Discord here, and you have to pay for it. You have to pay for servers, at least. You don't have to pay for being on it, just to have your own server.
God.
Instead of making like 100 bad servers, people would actually have to think and like pay for one. Then also you could poke people. It specifically had like a nudge feature. Like you could just go to somebody's profile, poke them, and then sometimes like there's a voice that would just go like, "Hey, wake up! Hey, new notification! Hey, wake up!
Oh my god.
Hey, are you there? Hey, wake up!" Now imagine that playing through the entire night, and suddenly you just hear from your headphone speakers, in the distance, you just hear a faint, "Hey, wake up!"
That sounds so abusable, but fun.
You don't get that on Discord.
They better add that, or else I'll hack Discord.
Get on that Discord team. You may have added the @everyone feature, but we need to get even more annoying. Not only do I need to ping people, I need to make it say things to that person.
Gotta poke that.
So we've covered D&D, we've covered barely covered your commentary stuff, because I don't know if you wanted to go in full detail about each of those videos, giving us like behind the scenes or whatever you want to do. I just honestly want to know, how many times do you have a script when you do your commentary videos?
Yes. I like to script my stuff. I cannot do unscripted videos.
I don't understand how
That would
people do
hurt.
it either. It sounds like you could tell when someone has a script and when someone doesn't, just by how confident they sound.
Yeah, it's easy to go off track without a script. I mean, people pull it off. I just can't.
Now, this follows into another question. How many times have you had to completely throw scripts into the garbage because all of a sudden something changed? Like, have you had like commentary video ideas that have just been dumpstered because you can't do it anymore? It's just like, well, that's a useless point now.
I was gonna make a part 2 of my Lumi Starbun video, but then I realized, like, it's just best not to give her attention. I mean, situation's gone on. If a situation's gone on for long enough, and the person shows literally no sign of improvement, it's just best to drop the script.
Congrats, you actually sound like a reasonable person. Despite everything, you've somehow involved your own ideals into it and made it sound presentable and not malicious.
I try.
I try. I want to put that on a t-shirt somewhere. I tried. Like written very like poorly. Like a gold star or something, it'd be amazing.
Perfect. Gold star. This is good green guy merch.
I explained to one guest before, I don't have money for merchandise, and I think that's the best for any of us. If I start making money off of my own stupid quotes.
That's the best way of earning money. Just putting your quotes on a t-shirt, mass producing them.
See, I mean, I don't think I need some of these quotes to be on a t-shirt. I think one of my other quotes was, people start to recognize me less and less the less amount of clothes I have on. And I think I'm like, so there we go. In order for me to hide, I just take off my clothes. And yeah, I don't need that being on a t-shirt of like a 12-year-old. I think I would.
What do you mean? That's the best.
No, I mean, like, imagine like, because on your Twitter, you label yourself as 2 years old. Imagine like a 2-year-old walking around with a green shirt on with a barely attempted quote on it. It'd be terrible.
I have my children wear that.
Have your children wear that at 2 years old?
Yes. I tried scribbled on bright green t-shirt. Throwback to this podcast.
You're just gonna be like, all right, kids. I was on this podcast one day. No idea what I was getting myself into. Got really worried that about going on it. Got really worried about what I do. Turns out the guy himself is a complete doofus. So I made this shirt to make fun of him.
Now word and go parade in the streets. We will find him again.
Look for the guy running in the opposite direction. That's him.
Get him, children. He's getting away.
Show him your merchandise. It's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna get sued. That's what's gonna happen. That's the luck I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get sued if I see someone wearing like a shirt with my quote on it. I'm gonna be labeled as a bad influence. All right.
Hell yeah.
So we covered D&D. We covered your commentary channel again. We got through some of the other cliche questions. Talked about Don't Starve. Did you have any other games that you liked playing recently? I mean, we do have this whole wave of Valve source multiplayer games that have now been completely hijacked and it should actually just be avoided like the plague. Do you have any other games that you're playing?
Luckily I've never played any Valve games, so as horrible as it is.
You're not affected by it whatsoever.
I feel bad for the people who do play it, though. That seems scary.
Yeah, I feel bad for me. All my life savings went into Pyro TF2 cosmetic.
Oh no!
I can't even play my game. If I play the game, my account's gonna get hijacked. I'm gonna lose it all. I'm gonna get made fun of on Twitter.
Protect your Pyro.
I have all those stranges.
Protect your Pyro.
Protect my
precious.
Yeah, but what other games are you playing other than Don't Starve, or do you only play Don't Starve together all the time?
I play Stardew Valley. It's relaxing.
Do you play to win, or do you play to just make like basically art?
I play for the experience.
I think from the time that I've played Stardew Valley, my little sister plays way more than I do. But the point of how I try to play the game is I just try not to lose all my money by summer. As long as I have like a few grand by summer, I'm good.
Yeah, it's hard to not spend your money on furniture just to decorate your house. That was a problem. My horrible spending addiction.
I think my spending addiction didn't actually even go into things on my own farm. It was to give people gifts so that I wouldn't seem mean.
Ah yes, the NPCs.
I've gone $12,000 into debt solely based on that I needed to give Leah 14 salads this week. 14 salads? Well, it's like, dang it. I think when I first played the game, I thought that's how it worked. I didn't know that you could only give like 2 gifts a week. Or was it a day? I forgot.
A week.
A week, alright. I think at one point I saved up like $20,000, bought all the salads I could, and then I was just going to try to give Leah all of the salads to get to like a higher friendship level. And then it turned out I couldn't do that, so I had a chest full of salads.
At least you had a noble collection of salad. I'm sure she'd love that.
Yeah, but I'd have to like slowly give salads out for like a year. This isn't like financial responsibility. My grandfather entrusted me this farm and I just drove it straight into the ground.
Grandson, I can't believe I gave you my life's work and you spent it all on salad.
I'm looking down on you from the heavens and I am disappointed.
What have I done to achieve this?
What have I done? My grandson's an idiot. Also, another funny thing about Stardew Valley, I think I love it only because in the beginning intro, there's a character that looks like Woody from Toy Story, except he's like hopped up on pills. Yeah,
Woody?
There is a cracked out looking Woody in the beginning of the game. Like when you're sitting in the office and it's like scrolling through all like even the dead guy in one of the cubicles. There's a Woody sitting in one of the cubicles with a bunch of pill bottles, licking his lips. It is horrifying.
Wait, I have to see this now. What is this?
Your clicking got even more frantic. Let's just eat this all I hear is like, hold on, could I actually like bring my mic down? There we go. And it's just. Okay, well, thankfully my mic didn't almost just fall apart. I'm just an idiot. So yeah, Stardew Valley. I don't think he has a name. There is a Reddit post asking why Woody sold out to the corporate market.
Oh my god, it is Woody.
And he's like, if you see him in the intro, he's just licking his lips constantly over and over again.
That's so terrifying.
These are the things I remember from games, not like old granddad coming down to check on me. No, Woody.
Woody in the intro. Workplace PTSD.
Workplace PTSD. 3 pill bottles. 4 soda cans, and he licks his lips over and over again. It is terrifying. This is this is the peak.
Peak Woody.
Peak Woody.
Peak Woody.
So you have Stardew Valley, a farming game. Don't Starve Together. I mean, I guess you could technically call that a farming game because you need to sometimes farm in order to not straight up die.
Yes.
Also can be relaxing, despite all the horrors in it.
Yeah, you just gotta settle down and
Just gotta settle down, get into the fetal position, and accept that you've gone insane. Or just not play the game, but
ignore the terrifying monsters that lurk in the darkness. Have some wheat.
have some wheat. Would you like a carrot in these trying times?
Do you like to cook your carrot over an open fire while you ponder where the hell you are?
Would you like to go dig some graves? That seems like a stupid thing to do right now.
The best thing to do. Go grave robbing.
Okay, I do have to ask, if we're still talking about Don't Starve Together. What is your favorite character?
Wendy or Wigfrid. They're my mains.
Wendy or Wigfrid? I mean, I don't know what, see, I don't play any other characters. I just only play, the best character ever. He could grow a beard and constantly talks about doing things in the name of science. I love Winston.
Winston is waifu.
I don't see why you need anything else. I mean, they try to steal his game mechanic, and I'm calling his beard growth a game mechanic. They try to steal it and put it on Webster, which is stupid.
Oh yeah.
Spiders stealing our character traits.
I think the spider is like canonically a child too, but like he grows a beard. It's interesting.
Quickly, let's send this child into a nightmare world.
Yes.
I mean, dang it, wasn't Wendy also like still technically a child?
Yeah, she's just very traumatized.
Very traumatized by who knew that PTSD could give you superpowers?
Hell yeah.
So, do you have a third game that I mean, 2 games is a lot. That'll set you for life. You have a third game that is somehow also still related to farming or surviving in a forest somewhere.
Surviving in a forest.
Well, let's see, like, technically Stardew Valley, you go and survive on a farm somewhere out in a forest. Don't Starve, you survive out in a forest, most of the time, I guess.
Terraria, I guess that counts.
Terraria counts too, yeah. I mean, I think Terraria is more horrifying because you have to fight the moon god.
That is terrifying.
I mean, I know that Don't Starve has a bunch of bosses that's like, yeah, it's a giant spider, or yeah, it's a literal giant, but then in Terraria, it's just like, alright, so you're gonna start off with like a severed eye, and then you're gonna work your way up to fighting a skeleton, and then you're gonna work up your way even more, and then you're just gonna fight God. Pretty sure that's also how D&D campaigns work.
Fighting God.
In the end, it comes full circle. It's just like, alright, so you start off barely able to fight a little bandit or a little goblin or whatever. I don't think anyone fights kobolds anymore because people don't want characters to kill kobolds. I think they've become too cute in the eyes of the public for people to actually want to use as enemies.
I have a story of that, but save that.
You're gonna say I'm only assuming it involves copious amounts of kobolds dying.
Yeah, I guess that's one part of it.
I think that's I think that's the only reason why you don't fight most of the monsters is because either people are too familiar using like one type, or they just are like, I don't want you to kill the cute little kobold. I was gonna make an NPC out of it. Don't kill the tiny dragon.
We were fighting like around 30 kobolds in a cave. Then our barbarian, who only showed up that session, died in his first fight.
Against 30 kobolds.
It was barbarian goals.
I die with honor. You survived like one fight.
You died to kobolds.
Yes, my family tradition. I now go into Valhalla. I've avenged my family, and you're like, you got stabbed in the knee by a stupid lizard and died. Honorable death. I can't talk because my rogue instantly got KO'd from somebody breathing too hard next to him. Yes, I'm calling like somebody's like, I think it was like a dragonborn frost breath, or got too chilly, went into a coma.
Oh my god. Hard breathing.
It's just, I can't talk about other people's characters dying when my characters are equally as able to die. I do have to also ask, because we are around the hour mark, and I do have to somewhat wrap this up. So we're going to very slowly wrap it up by going back to Dungeons and Dragons one more time. And I need to ask you your least favorite class and race, or combination type of like player character. I don't care. What is the thing that makes you stay up at night because of how much you hate it?
Just like anything about D&D in general.
Anything.
DMs that like make it their goal to kill their players. Blah.
I didn't want to fight you. You're supposed to give us a good story, and meanwhile they're just shaking their fist at you like, too bad. Here's a beholder.
I played with a DM that solely tried to kill our characters, and we were telling, hey, can we actually like get some character development in first before we die? And he said, okay, get as much as you can in like the first session before I start killing. And then the campaign ended after 2 sessions.
What do you mean losing your limbs isn't character development? All the famous like character roles in movies, they like lose a limb and all of a sudden, boom, they're cool. Meanwhile, you lose all 4 of your limbs and you're just whining about dying too quickly.
Yeah, your character that you worked on, have fun in the void.
Have fun in the void. Back to the Google Drive you go. I'm gonna sit in my folder for a little bit longer before I recycle you again. See, I think the one thing that I hate the most out of anything in D&D are people playing maxed characters solely only to play something that is like a glass cannon. And I think even though I love rogues so much, I only see min-max characters happen primarily with, they're just, they don't take any risks. They only do the things, they basically have plus 11 proficiency in everything. They sit there and it's like, are you gonna sneak? And they're just like, let me roll 32, and you're like, you disappear.
Whoosh.
I mean, it's nice to have like min-max characters, but all they do, they're like playing Dark Souls rather than playing D&D. They're just there to go kill somebody and not talk whatsoever.
Yeah, it's good to roleplay once in a while. Talk. I guess it depends on the campaign.
Come on, give me your backstory. My backstory's, I like murdering things.
Alright, that counts.
Fine, I guess. I think the only character, I think the only race you could effectively have be like the constant murder hobo isn't humans, isn't elves, isn't even like orcs or half-orcs. You just need a really angry goblin. I think that's the only race you're allowed to have.
Angry goblins.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only race you're allowed to have be just like chaotic evil. That's the only pass I think you would get.
Chaotic goblins are great.
They're like, it's like cannon fodder, but it's fun cannon fodder. So we've established that you're going to horrifically mock me with merchandise. You're going to also put it on your children. We've explained how to primarily run any D&D campaign ever, as both a player and a DM, and we've also talked about how to get good and don't starve together, because for the love of God, I need help.
You're doing great.
to get to day 21 and then I just mysteriously die.
Disappeared from the realm.
I will say, I've never starved and don't starve. I think that's an achievement, at least. Sure, I may die every other way, but I'd never starved.
Goal of the game is to don't starve anymore, it's just starve.
I win. This is how I win. Alright. So, coming at the end of this podcast, do you have anyone that you would like... This is like the time for you to make fun of someone, either legitimately, or you call somebody out, you plug somebody in. I mean, you're already going to have all your social media links down in the description, but is there anyone you'd like to call out? You just want to call out yourself, be a full-on narcissist, do whatever you want.
CC Mac, how you smell.
Perfect. That's going right in the title, too. Perfect.
I'll post this channel in general.
So there you go. You've made your plugs. I now have my new YouTube tags to put in. Not only am I going to put in our names, I'm also just going to put that in and see how many people find it that way.
Hell yeah.
I get to put in an otter person as a joke. Well, you've been a great podcast member. You were like so worried about like having a podcast, and look, you've made it through a barely organized, very unprofessional podcast, and you survived. Congratulations.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Glad for you to come out here. Well, by here I mean just one Discord server that I'm just gonna have sit here and collect dust until I get more members. Thank you very much, though, for being on, taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to then teach me how to play Don't Starve together, and then me teaching you that Woody is in fact I bumped my mic, and then teaching you, in fact, that Woody does exist in the Stardew Valley universe.
Thank you for telling me that Woody became a drug addict.
He's a raging drug addict.
Thank you for having me on.
Glad for you to be on. Thank you very much.